So hey, let's try. I have some ideas how to help you learn Cyrillic alphabet, and we're gonna make a test of that today through some very simple words and simple analogies. And then I got inspired by one of my favorite book of all times. This is the Ukrainian Harry Potter. Um, and I was thinking, hey, what are some of the words that sound the same in Ukrainian and in English, so that if you get stuck with Cyrillic, you can quickly find your way back because you know the word. And I thought, well, there are a bunch of those words in Harry Potter. So the way this is gonna go, and this is all kind of made up. So I don't know if this is a great idea or if it's just really ridiculous, but let's give it a shot. So, first of all, we're going to go through the letters. There are 33 letters in Ukrainian alphabet. One of them is irrelevant for now. So there are 33 letters in Ukrainian alphabet. We use Cyrillic. We're going to focus on how to pronounce those letters. And then we're going to go into some spells to see how Harry Potter spells can help you navigate the Cyrillic alphabet. So let's dive in and come along. Okay. Here we are. All right, so to get us started, we have the vowels. So to get us started, we have the vowels. The good thing about Ukrainian in general is that the way you write things and the way you pronounce things is 90% of the time the same, especially when you getting started. If you get your pronunciation right, most people will be able to understand you, and it's very, very, very important. And I tell you that as somebody who speaks four languages fluently and to a decent level. Pronunciation makes a huge difference to how well people think you speak the language. So the first letter is A. The first vowel is A. And in English it's A, right? But here it's A. And the way you pronounce the A in Ukrainian is like an abracadabra. So abracadabra is a good example because it has a lot of open A's. So A. E. Not E, but E. And the correct pronunciation of Ukrainian is the way you'd say it in the hotel. The in hotel in the second part, right? The next vowel is I, and this is a vowel that in Ukrainian, as far as I know, doesn't start any words. They might have changed something now, but didn't used to start any words. It's a vowel you'd only see in the middle of the words. And for example, it's in my name, Irena. Irena. Then there is E, and this is Ukrainian E. And the way you pronounce it is the way you would say E in she. So E, she, he, we. Then there is O, and the O is quite open. It's not O, it's O. Like ole, ole. Ole, ole. Ooh, ooh. The way you pronounce ooh, the Ukrainian ooh is like urban. Urban. No, actually urban, probably not a good example. Ooh. Like, ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, didn't see that coming. Oops. So, a, e, I, o, u. A, e, I, o, u. Try to repeat that a few times, just to see how comfortable you are, to see where the sound places in your mouth. And the second group of letters are letters which will be around your lips. M, like mama. M. This is not a B, this is a V, like victory. And in Ukraine, it's a little bit harder, so it's V, V like Victoria or Victor. This is a Ukrainian version of B, so B. The way you pronounce this letter is the way you pronounce brave. And it's also on your lips. Then another one of the lip ones is P, like Potter. P, papa, or papa. Goodbye, papa. Another one of the lip letters is F, like flamingo, or oof. And to summarize, the letters that will be somewhere around your lips are mama, m, victory, v, brave, b, p, Potter, f, flamingo. Then the letters that do something around your teeth. This is, so in English, this is an H, obviously in Ukrainian, this is an N. And a way to remember this, so there's tak, which means yes, and there's ni, which means no. One of the ways to remember this is, but the Knights of Ni from Monty Python. You know, Knights of Ni. So this is not an H, this is an N in Ukrainian. Like, no, it's not an H. This funky one is an L, and the way you pronounce it is the way you would say Labrador. Labrador in Ukrainian. L. This one, this is a D, or like a little house. In Ukrainian, the word for house is dim. So this is a D, and the way you pronounce it is similar to Detroit. D. One of the ways my somebody I used to know who's a native speaker, when he was learning Ukrainian and Cyrillic specifically, remembered this letter is by associating it with Jaws and thinking of the D as the shark fin and remembering the melody, that to remember the letter D. Then there is letter Z, which looks like a 3. And you might know it by Zelensky. Letter T, like Ternopil, which is a big city next to the place where I come from. And the way you pronounce it is sort of similar to top. Then this funky thing is a C, like vitamin C. A way to pronounce it is the way you'd say fly. Then in English, C is Ukrainian S. And the way you pronounce this one is the way you would pronounce snake. So these are the teeth letters. N, L, D, Z, T, C, like fly, and S like snake. Then the letters that are at the front of your mouth. R, like Rio. R. Y. This is a tricky one. The way you pronounce Y is like in Time magazine, for example, where you have Time magazine, that Y is exactly what the Ukrainian letter Y stands for. And it's the same as letter E, which was in the middle of my name, except it tips a little hat. It says yo. Y. Then this little bug of a letter is a J, and the way you pronounce it is in the way you would say the name Jeanette. J. In Ukrainian, the letter J begins the word called zhuk, which means a bug. And if you get learning, then that can make it also easier for you to remember the letter, to remember the sound, J. Then there is letter Ch, which is CH, and the pronunciation is similar to what you would have of a CH in English, which is chop. Chop. Then this is a sh, shop. One of the ways you can remember sh is letter E, or English letter E, got drunk. So sh, because letter E got drunk and it fell down. That's also from my friend. So these are the ones that are at the front of your mouth. R, Y, J, Ch, and Sh. And then finally, letters which are at the back of your mouth. There's the H. This one might be a bit tricky because there are two letters in Ukrainian that sound kind of similar, which is the H and the H. One is a little softer, one is a little harder. So it sounds kind of like the hotel, more like hag, kind of like a hotel, let's say. Then there is the G, which is similar to English, Gryffindor. There's the K, which sounds the way you pronounce couple, the K in the beginning of couple. This is not an X, this is a H, a soft one. And the way you pronounce it exactly like hotel, H, hotel. Half. This is the H. And these are the letters which are at the back of your mouth. The H, G, K, H. So the K is used quite often, but the rest of them are used a little bit less frequently. So don't worry about those too much. And then there is a group of letters that I call the party because it's a couple of sounds that get together. The first one is yeah. So it looks like a Ukrainian S, with a little thing in the middle. And the way you can remember it is, it's like Kanye's West new name, yeah. And it's a combination of y and a, yeah. Then there is ye, like ye. I was trying to come up with something, but I couldn't. So the way you could think of it is, I think some of the Chinese leaders, yi something, and it's a combination of yot and i, so yi. And then there is this funky thing, which is the letter u in one word, and it's a combination of y and u, u. For example, there is my best friend's name is called Yura, and his name begins with the letter U. And finally, there was letter Ya, and the way you pronounce it is the way in German you say Ja, like an R backwards, and in Ukrainian it means I, right? So I am, you would say Ja, yeah. Ya is a combination of you, yeah. And this one you will not use too often, especially as a foreigner, but it's a proper funky letter, which is a combination of two letters you've seen before, of sh, like shop, and ch, like chop. It's a letter sh. Probably the easiest for the Polish speakers because they have something like that, except we've had combined all of sounds and put them into one letter. Okay, so these are the party letters where you have a few things combined together. Yeah, ye, you, yeah, and sh. All right, so now that's the beginning. So we've gone through the alphabet. Please let me know what you think of that introduction. I feel a little silly. I really do. I mean, I don't know if this level of detail is enough or if it's absolutely not enough, but at least to give it a shot. So let me know what you think. When it comes to level of energy, I can amp it up for the future. For the moment, I'm just trying to get out of COVID and I don't want to keep you waiting. In the next video, there's going to be a short lesson on actually reading. So if you want to go through the words, through the letters again, and then we're going to be playing a little bit with the reading and with the spells. Okay, so the reading.